Black made a move. King e7. Pause the video and try to find white's next move. King c4. King d8. King b5. White's idea is to play King c6. King c8. King takes d6. King b7. King e7 and increase their advantage significantly. King c7 was chosen by black. King a6. White is looking to play King a7. King c8. King b6. King b8. King c6. King c8. King takes d6 and dominate the board. King b8 move preferred by black. King b6. King c8. King c6. King b8. King takes d6. King b7. King e7. King b6. On d6. King c5. On d7. King d4. On promotes to queen at d8 check. King e3. White is clearly ahead. Let's go to the next game. Black played on f4. Pause the video to spot white's next move. Black is looking to play pawn takes g3 and secure a stronghold in the game. Pawn takes f4 was chosen by white. On g3. Black is setting up to play pawn g2. King takes e4. Pawn promotes to queen at g1 and gain a significant edge. King e3 was chosen by white. King c7. On f5. King c6. On f6. White is preparing to play on f7. King c5. King takes e4. King takes c4. Pawn promotes to queen at f8 and secure a stronghold in the game. King d7 played by black. On c5. King e6. On c6. White intends to play on c7. King d7. Pawn promotes to queen at c8 check and put immense pressure on the opponent. King takes e5 move preferred by black. On c7. White is preparing to play pawn promotes to queen at c8 and increase their advantage significantly. On g2 played by black. King f2. Pawn promotes to queen at g1 check. King takes g1. King takes f6. Pawn promotes to queen at c8. White considers playing queen f8 check. King e6. Queen takes h6 check. King e5. Queen g6 and take decisive advantage. On e3 white is clearly ahead. Let's go to the next game. White made a move. On h4 pause the video to analyze black's next move. White is planning to play pawn takes g5 and secure a stronghold in the game. Pawn takes h4 played by black. Pawn takes h4. King e5. On the 5. King f5. King e3. King g4. King d4. King takes h4. King takes c4. King g3. King c5. On h4. King b6. On h3. On c4. On h2. King takes a 6. Pawn promotes to queen at h1. King b6. White is on the verge of defeat. Let's go to the next game. Black played on b5. Pause the video to analyze white's next move. King d5. White intends to play King c6. On a6. On d5 and secure a stronghold in the game. On a5 was chosen by black. King c5. White is aiming to play king takes b5 and put immense pressure on the opponent. Pawn b4 was chosen by black. Black is planning to play pawn takes a3 and gain a significant edge. Pawn takes b4 played by white. Pawn takes b4. King takes b4. King f6. Pawn d5. King g5. Pawn d6. White considers playing. Pawn d7. King takes h5. King c3 and dominate the board. King takes h5 move preferred by black. King c3. King g6. Pawn d7. Pawn h5. King d3. Pawn h4. Pawn promotes to queen at d8. Pawn h3 white has a decisive advantage. Let's go to the next game. Black just played. King d6. Pause the video to analyze white's next move. King f6. King d7. King f7. King d6. King e8. White's idea is to play King d8. King e6. King c7 and gain a significant edge. Pawn a5 was chosen by black. Pawn takes a5. Pawn c5. King d8. Pawn takes d4. Pawn takes d4. King c6. Pawn a6. White is planning to play King e7. King b6. King d6. King takes a6. King takes d5. Pawn b4. Pawn takes b4 and gain a significant edge. King b6 was chosen by black. King d7. White is aiming to play King d6. King takes a6. King takes d5. Pawn b4. Pawn takes b4 and gain a significant edge. King takes a6 was chosen by black. King d6. White's idea is to play King takes d5 and secure a stronghold in the game. Pawn b4 played by black. Black is setting up to play Pawn b3. King takes d5. Pawn b2. Pawn a4. Pawn promotes to queen at b1 and secure a stronghold in the game. Pawn takes b4 move preferred by white. King d5. King takes d5. King takes b4. Black is outplayed. Let's go to the next game. Black just played. Pawn b4. Pause the video to figure out white's next move. Pawn a4. Pawn b3. King c3. White might go for Pawn h4. King d6. King takes b3 and take decisive advantage. King d6 played by black. King takes b3. King c5. King c3. King c6. Pawn g4. White wants to play Pawn takes h5 and gain a significant edge. Pawn takes g4 was chosen by black. Pawn takes g4. King c5. Pawn b3. White's idea is to play King d3. King b4. King c2. King a3. King c3. King a2. Pawn b4. Pawn takes b4 check. King takes b4 and gain a significant edge. King b6 move preferred by black. Pawn b4. Pawn takes b4 check. King takes b4. King c6. King c4. White is planning to play Pawn a5. King d6. Pawn a6. King c6. Pawn a7. King b7. King d5 and secure a stronghold in the game. King c7 move preferred by black. King d5. White is aiming to play King e6. King b6. King takes f6 and secure a stronghold in the game. Pawn f5 move preferred by black. Pawn takes f5. King c8. Black is struggling to keep up. Let's go to the next game. White played Pawn f4 check. Pause the video and try to predict black's next move. Pawn takes f4 check. Pawn takes f4 check. King f5. Black might go for pawn d4 check. King f2. King takes f4 and establish a winning position. Pawn takes d5 was chosen by white. Pawn takes d5. Pawn h4. King g4. Black is aiming to play king takes h4 and put immense pressure on the opponent. Pawn d4 was chosen by white. Pawn takes d4 check. King takes d4. King takes h4. King takes d5. King g4. King e5. Pawn h4. King d5. Pawn h3. King c5. Pawn h2. King d4. King takes f4. Pawn a4. Pawn promotes to queen at h1. Black is planning to play queen c6. Pawn b4. Queen takes a4 and establish a winning position. King c4. Black is clearly ahead. Let's go to the next game. Black made a move. King takes g5. Pause the video to analyze white's next move. Pawn takes b5. Pawn takes b5. Pawn a4. White is setting up to play pawn takes b5 and take decisive advantage. Pawn c4 move preferred by black. Black is aiming to play pawn takes b3 and increase their advantage significantly. Pawn takes c4 was chosen by white. Pawn takes a4. Pawn takes a4. King f5. Pawn a5. White is setting up to play pawn a6. Pawn g5. Pawn a7. Pawn g4 check. King g3 and establish a winning position. Pawn g5 move preferred by black. Pawn a6. Pawn g4 check. King e2. Pawn g3. Pawn a7. Pawn d3 check. King takes d3. Pawn g2. Pawn promotes to queen at a8. White considers playing queen takes g2 and establish a winning position. Pawn promotes to queen at g1 played by black. Queen d5 check. King f6. Queen d4 check. Queen takes d4 check. King takes d4. King e6. Black has no response. Let's go to the next game. White played King e3. Pause the video to analyze black's next move. Pawn f4 check. King e2. King takes h4. King f3. White's idea is to play king takes f4 and increase their advantage significantly. King g5 move preferred by black. Pawn b5. White wants to play pawn b6. Pawn a5. Pawn c5 and put immense pressure on the opponent. Pawn takes b5 move preferred by black. Pawn takes b5. Pawn b6. King e2. King f5. King f2. King e4. King e2. Pawn f3 check. King f2. King f4. King f1. King e3. King e1. Pawn f2 check. King f1. King f3. Pawn b3. King e3. Black is setting up to play king f3. Pawn b4. King e3. King g2. King e2. King g3. Pawn promotes to queen at f1 and put immense pressure on the opponent. Pawn b4 was chosen by white. King d3. Black is looking to play king e3. King g2. King e2. King g3. Pawn promotes to queen at f1 and establish a winning position. King takes f2 was chosen by white. King c3. Black is aiming to play king c4. King e1. King takes b5 and secure a strong hold in the game. King e3 was chosen by white. King takes b4. King d4. King takes b5. King c3. Black has a strong upper hand. Let's go to the next game. Black played King b5. Pause the video to spot white's next move. King e5. King takes b4. King f6. King takes a5. King takes f7. On b5. King takes g6. On b4. On h5. On b3. On h6. On b2. On h7. On promotes to queen at b1. Black is planning to play queen a1. King takes f5. Queen b1 check. King f6. Queen takes h7. On f5. Queen g8. On g6. King b5 and seize the initiative. On promotes to queen at h8 played by white. Queen b4. Queen e5 check. King a4. King takes f5. Queen f8 check. King g4. Queen a8. On g6. Queen g2 check. King f5. Queen h3 check. King f6. Queen h4 check. King f7. Queen h1. On g7. Queen b7 check. King f8. Queen b4 check. King e8. White considers playing pawn promotes to queen at g8 and dominate the board. Queen c4 move preferred by black. On f5. Queen g8 check. King e7. White considers playing. On f6. Queen a8. On f7. Queen a7 check. King e6. Queen b6 check. King f5 and dominate the board. Queen c4 was chosen by black. Queen e6. Queen b4 check. King f7. White is aiming to play queen takes a 6 check and gain a significant edge. Queen b8 move preferred by black. Queen a2 check. King b4. Queen b2 check. King c4. Queen takes b8. King c5. White is clearly ahead. Let's go to the next game.